Today I'm going to spin the wool that I carded yesterday onto this bobbin. This is the next step in making a skein of yarn. Okay, so I have a little bit of wool already on this bobbin, and I'm going to now put it on my wheel and continue spinning. Now I'm working from the same fleece, so I can continue spinning the same yarn onto this same bobbin because it's all one fleece. If it wasn't, I would take this off and use this little bit of yarn for something else. But I can continue working with it. So let's get it started. So here's my work from a previous episode. So I find the end of my yarn, or my wool, and it's been spun, so it's a bit wound up. So I want to unwind it and open it up so that the fibers are exposed as much as possible and ready to grab onto the fibers that I'm going to combine with it. So here's the wool. Here's some wool that I've carded, and now I'm going to spin it onto here, but I have to convince it, which isn't very hard, that this and it are the same wool, which it is because it's all one fleece. So I'll just kind of lay it over there, and then I'll get my wheel going. Oh, let me release my tension. I was plying, so I have high tension. Alright, so I'll get my wheel going with my hand, and then I'll keep it going with my foot. You can't see that, but it's going on. And then I am slowly pulling and thinning the fleece, feeding it into the wheel. Now I am making a bulky wool yarn, so I have a lot of lumps, and I'm going to be irregular in the amount of thinning that I allow. This is not, I'm not attempting to make a uniform yarn. I'm attempting to make a bulky, irregular yarn, which oddly enough is much easier to do when you're brand new than when you've been spinning for a while. Because once you know how to do it smooth and even, it's hard to do it lumpy. But it can be done. So I just keep pulling, feeding, keep my foot moving, and pull the threads, feed them in, but keep my hand here separating the spun portion from the loose portion so that it doesn't knot up into a big ball, because that's what will happen if I don't hold on. So I just keep pulling, stretching, spreading, feeding. Now I'm getting to the end of my fleece that's spun here. I'm going to slow down my foot a little bit, spread this out like I did the last one, and then start my next bit of carded wool. See how they just join right together. Wool is very forgiving and likes to hold on to itself. So you just get it near itself and it will join together like it's always been one fleece. There's some nice lumps in there. I like them. Let's move this down the bobbin. get it even. Now some of these lumps will disappear in the process. They don't all make it to the end result. That's okay. So I got to put a few more lumps than what I ultimately want at the end, because some of them won't make it to the end. That sounds weird. But the wheel does even out your yarn a bit more than you might expect. So if you really want lumpy, irregular yarn, you might try hand spinning. But this is lumpy enough for me, so I'm not gonna sacrifice the convenience of the wheel for the hand spinner. Okay, so, oh, that doesn't want to go in. And like I said, some gets weeded out. That one didn't make it. So you want to keep pulling and spreading, feeding it into the wheel. That's basically how it's done. This is boring from here on out, so I will cut you loose.